Today I'm going to talk to you about edge stands. I use the edge stand to work on pieces vertically, so I can actually make repairs on it, or I can sand, I can edge band, and it just keeps everything nice and stable. And I basically use it to help protect my pieces as well. What we're going to do is we're going to take some carpet, we're going to wrap it around down inside and down along the bottom and up the other side and back down again. And this is actually going to create a cushion, so you'll be able to slip the piece in. It'll be in a lot of control, and yeah, it does prevent from accidents from happening. I can either put this on the floor so I can work on the edge up here, and usually with taller pieces like that, or I can just, if I need to work on a workbench, I'll put it at one end and then I can work all along, up and down the length. So let's get started. This is my base. My base is slightly bigger. So this would be an 18-inch, and this one here is 17 3/4. So I got a little bit of inset on the other side of the piece. That's going to fit just nice and within that range. So, and that's just a precautionary measure, just because my carpet's going to overhang. So again, if my piece comes in and if I hit that edge, it's going to hit the carpet, not the wood. So let's get started on this. All right, so what I'm going to do is mark out 2 inches on one end here, mark out the other 2 inches here, take a straight edge and mark it down. Okay, so we know where it's nice and parallel. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-countersink my holes, and again you go about 1 inch away from the side. Make sure you countersink it nicely. Okay, turn it around, the other side, and I'm going to do one in roughly around the middle, one in between there, up around, and one in between there. Now I put 5 in there because I do want a nice strong rigid hold, and making sure the piece doesn't sway away back and forth very much. We want it nice and fairly tight fit. And with that, just get rid of some of the splinters on the bottom here. Okay. So I want to mark on center here. Again, use your finger as a little guideline. Eyeball it, nice and on center, looks good. And we're going to do the same thing there. Okay. So now I can see where my on center is. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this first piece, and I'm going to just make sure my on centers are really close here. And they are. And with the other side, and I'm going to make sure that my overhang is equal on both sides. So I know that that this piece here is in between this. So I have a pin nailer here. And take a shot in there. Take a shot in there. And just do one in the middle. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna again sink my. I'm going to continue these pilot holes right through the particle board. And that's so my particle board doesn't split, because we are using particle board. And one more. All right. That's one half. So I got 2 pieces of carpet, the same thickness of what I'm going to be using, and I'm going to put them down on top of the one half that we've already constructed. And then I'm gonna actually take some 3/4 inch material and put that on top. And then I'm gonna rest this piece on top of here. So again, you know, I don't really have to measure. It's just fitting in what you want it to accommodate. If I want to build this to 1 inch thick, then I would simply put 1 inch material here in between and then rest that on top, and that will give me my comfortable dimensions what I need. So I'm just going to grab my pin nailer and I pin nail there, pin nail there. And a quick little tip here, you can just have your pin nail mark and it should run right into your other pin nail mark, and now you have a line. Okay, so we're just going to keep that in place, and I'll just put one more in the middle just so that you have extra stability there. Alright, now I'm just going to pre-drill my holes. Slide this up under for a little bit better. And I'll slide this over here just so we can get a better look for you. So I'm just going to pre-drill my holes this way. Just make sure you're nice and flat and level. And again, you just put in there. One there, one there, one there, and finally one there. And then I'm just going to sink some screws into them. Now these are just some decking screws that I had in the shop here, so usually I like to use zinc. Alright, so now we have these nice and sturdy. Alright, so I'm going to cut my carpet now, and the measurements I need are pre-calculation. I need 18 inches in my total length, and I also need 33 to wrap up and down, and considering the distance in between as well. So yeah, I'm just going to mark out my measurements here. I'm going to go 18. And I'll go 18 up here. And then I'll mark out roughly around 33. Oh, I was almost bang on my mark with that. Okay, so that's my cut line. And then I'll just mark 33 on this one as well. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to mark these two lines together. Right. Mark out these two lines together. Now normally, I would be, instead of doing this, I would just simply cut my line, but I'm just showing this in this way just for explanatory reasons and for the more novice. Okay, so now we just grab your X-Acto blade, put it out so that it comfortably goes above here, so the knife itself isn't outward at all. Push that forward a little bit. Alright, so I'm about to make my first cut. Alright, so I'm ambidextrous, so we can go left-handed here. Okay, so that's all done. Put the carpet aside. All right, so we have our carpet now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna fold that in half, and we're gonna find on the center, and we're just gonna push it in, push the fold in, and that's gonna bottom out at the very bottom. And we wanna make sure that we got that overhang, and which we do. Okay. So now it's just a matter of wrap it around, fastening on the outsides, and it should be very well in place. All right, so I'm just gonna fasten one side now, and I'm just using 1/2 inch screws so I don't go through the 3/4 inch material. And put one through there. Make sure that this is down nice and tight. It is. All right, so we're gonna put one in the middle. One further down. I'm just putting 2 screws down here to keep that carpet tight to the side. All right, so there you have it. Upright edge stand. Now I can just put my pieces in. Doesn't matter what you do, it's nice and rigid. You can work on the edge of it, whatever. Make repairs. It's quite simple, quite easy. And you can pull them out, stand them up on end. It works just great. Fantastic. I use it all the time when it comes to panel work and if I need to work on an edge. So it's just something to have underneath your workbench and in your arsenal. It's just a very good thing to have. Cheers. Like and follow us on TikTok. Like and subscribe on YouTube. And follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter.